Hey. Hey. Hey.
What's going on, people? I am Mr. Pleasant.
I'm Mrs. Pleasant.
And welcome to A Pleasant Connection. Yes. And to my people at Pleasant Love, what's up? How y'all doing? How you doing this Sunday? But people on Pleasant Connection, how you doing this Wednesday? How your mama doing? Because you heard that sigh? You weren't expecting that sigh?
No. I wasn't ready for that.
Today is about something that's really dear to my heart because it took me a long time to get to this point, to even care for myself. It was I don't know about you. Was taking care of yourself hard for you?
Has always been a problem for me.
Right.
Because I'm if you will, I don't like to quote this, workaholic. If I'm not working at work, I'm working on something outside of work. If I'm volunteering outside, I'm always doing something. So I'm always busy. So
yeah,
I don't really find the time to do self-care, but I'm learning the older I get.
Yeah, that's why we're starting to love being content creators, because we're starting to preach to ourselves, we're starting to teach ourselves, we're starting to remind ourselves on what we need to do to help ourselves in the Lord, help ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, all that.
Yes.
But today we got some stuff to talk about, but before we do, let's have some fun.
Let's lay the smacker down.
You want to lay the smacker down?
Smack it down.
So there is a game we play. We played it before on the podcast Discovery, and actually soon you'll be able to watch it. If you follow us on Pleasant Love, you can see our full version of us actually playing the game Discovery. Right. We had a really good time. I love playing it with Sierra. It took us to different levels in that little moment.
This would be a lot of different levels.
So again, if you ever have a chance to check out the game Discovery, please do. Especially if you are in a relationship, serious relationship, or starting a new relationship, dating
is really good to do, because it makes you explore questions that you probably have never thought about. Whereas when have been dating for a long time, or if you're married, you kind of explore some of them, and some of them, if they're asked differently, you probably get a different answer in a different season. So it's really good to do. So it was fun.
So we have 4 cards from the Discovery game. We're basically going to ask each other the question.
All right.
And then see if it gets a little deep, if it gets a little emotional. That's what's said about this game. When you watch the game, you're going to see how deep it could get.
It can get sensual too if you.
So the first question, wow, I mixed them up, and I promise you I mixed them up. So Sierra, complete this sentence. I am sorry for.
Bro. Really, husband?
I am sorry for.
Ooh, don't cry.
Don't do it, baby. It wasn't supposed to get that deep. I'm sorry.
I am sorry. Ooh, I'm so emotional these days. Because a lot of things just flood in my memory. But I think the most I am sorry for is not appreciating you and showing you my appreciation for just you being. I'm about to cry.
Oh man, don't do it. The question canceled. No, we don't need to answer. Don't answer it.
But I think showing you that I appreciate you. I probably said it, but I didn't show it enough in the beginning of our dating relationship and the beginning of our marriage. So I think for me, that's what I always do. I'm sorry for.
Well, I'll say I'm sorry for. I want to answer it because I don't want you to be hanging on the ledge by yourself. I'm a man. I can't let that happen. I can't let you hang on that ledge by yourself.
Just the chocolate.
Just the chocolate gonna be
melting.
Well, I'm gonna answer this one just like it says you're not alone. I'm sorry for not showing you how much I want you. Just trying to assume.
You mean to my now?
Yeah.
You've done it before that.
Yeah, past I got comfortable. I did get comfortable where I just assumed and I didn't vocalize it or physically show that I want you. And I feel like I gotten better, but I definitely always get better. Progression over perfection.
Yeah, Lord.
Yes.
Lord. Oh, okay. That was the first question.
That was one question.
Jeez, William. Okay. What initially attracted you to your spouse?
What initially attracted me to my spouse?
What initially attracted you to your spouse?
Your smile.
My smile?
Your smile.
Not my kadal.
It was there, but I was a different person.
That's true.
I was a different person. I've seen a lot of butts, so.
Yes, you have.
I've seen
why did I even say that?
I've seen a lot of butts, so it had to be more. It had to be more than a butt.
That's true. That's true.
So the smile, and then the smile behind it wasn't fake. It was genuine, and you spread that smile to others, and genuinely love people. So the smile, physically, the smile in your heart.
Oh, these guys sentimental. Wow. Okay.
We're getting good at this.
So for me, it was your what initially attracted me. Well, I was attracted to the way you looked.
Yes.
Before I got to know you, but once I got to know you, I liked that you were very smart, but very comical at the same time. Like you were a funny nerd. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't accept it until I got older, but yes, I know what you mean.
Okay, you were a funny nerd. You weren't like this stuck-up guy, but you were very smart, but you were still like fun, loving, and yeah. All right.
Let's stop there because we're about to be here before we even start talking about what we want to talk about. You want to answer? Oh, it looks like you want to ask me that question.
Go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do it fast.
All right. What is your earliest?
Those first two are deep, y'all.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory? With my cousin Tiffany. We were at my Aunt Linda's house, and we have a picture of it. And that's my. We were playing and just having fun and loving on her and just spending time. That was my fondest that I can like think of fast. Mine's
and my mom will attest to this because even when I tell her, she's like, "There's no way." I remember I've been in a different house, and mine was self-discovery. Looking at my reflection and realizing like, oh, that's me. Like it's followed like a dog. When the dog first looks at the reflection, I could remember that. I literally could remember that. Yeah. And my mom was like, "There's no way." And I described the gold mirror, and she's like, "Yes, but how did you remember that?"
When you came to know who your identity was, who you were. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a very in-depth brain, like.
Yeah, it went deep. Like I know they were like, "Oh, ice cream and Starburst and Skittles." No, mine was like self-discovery. I was like, "That's me.
That's what I look."
And it's that's how I look. Mine's following. It's copying everything I do. Like,
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Describe the type of person your mother, father, or another member of your family is or was.
Wow.
Describe the type of person your mother, father, or another member of your family is or was.
Well, I'll keep it simple. I did have a mom and dad in my life growing up. My dad was more the relaxed, like I'm here. He taught me my sarcasm. He taught me my wit. He taught me
the
quick tongue.
Yes.
He taught me how to be always ready to answer. Well, not to a certain extent, like I have to always like know everything, but always be quick. Like stand for yourself. If you didn't know something, I always had like a response to something because of my dad. If I didn't know something, I would respond like that. I don't know. Let me find out. I always have something. No, I don't know. Like, don't do that. That was my dad taught me. And Mom taught me generosity, and how to not be selfish. That's how my mom was. Or is. She's still. Thank God, they're still in my life.
From my mother, I learned generosity. I learned who Christ was and how to follow Christ. I learned how to care for people when no one's looking. My mom has sacrificed a lot. Why am I emotional today? Anywho, for our family, but also for other people, other friends, and she has went without to make sure somebody else had. And it doesn't just mean like monetary or food, or just like if someone's having a bad day, she would like try to go cheer them up, like, just bringing them some popcorn, like just simple things. I think I learned that from her. Like, I have that type of heart where, if somebody is hurting, I'm trying to find a way to not make them hurt anymore so they can see a brighter day. So I think I learned that from her. How to just be loving and caring.
That's awesome. You had a lot of mom figures too. Your aunts and
my aunts,
your grandma.
My grandmas, my grandma. I could go down a list of what I've learned from all of them.
You're very
we don't have the time.
And that's actually pretty cool because it said describe the type of person, but we lean towards what we learn from them, and that's kind of what we're talking about today in the title, How Do You Care for Yourself? And one of the things I know, like we said in the beginning, it was hard for us to care for ourselves. And then when we got to the point where we did learn how to care for ourselves, that caused us kind of issues in the relationship.
Oh yeah.
In the beginning, because all right, I self-discovery. I learned, okay, this is how I take care of myself. I don't have my mommy, I don't have my daddy. I gotta learn how to take care of myself. I gotta know how to, schedule my time right, time management, and then it gets down to self-care, how to make sure I keep myself sane so I can get to the next part of my responsibility. Then you get with somebody and you're like, I'm comfortable with my self-care. I learned there's an interesting book, five languages of love. And then we didn't realize there was also a self-care language. You learn that real quick. I remember in the beginning when we dated, me and Sierra, there were moments where we have arguments. I know on my side, it was, I was the type of person, like, if I felt sick, excuse me, y'all.
He has allergies right now.
I have bad allergies right now, so please forgive me. I felt sick, or I was going through a little bout of depression, or just, in general, just not feeling well. I was the person that I needed a dark room. I needed to be by myself. Nobody bothered me. And it was almost to the point where sometimes Sierra was just like, that don't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Why are you doing all that? But that was me. Like, I was more of I needed the opposite of what I had daily, because I was always around people. I'm in education. Even when I was learning to, become a teacher, I was still around a lot of people. So for me, I needed the opposite. I needed quietness. And Sierra didn't rock with that. She didn't understand that.
No, because my version of self-care was, like I said, my mom, like to be engulfed by someone who really cares about you. Like, you go to the person who loves you the most, or the person that you feel more protected or more love from. You would navigate to that person. And so I'm thinking, we're dating, we're good, and no, he wasn't. He was just like, I'm like, what? And I would sit in my dorm like, what did I do wrong? Like, did I do something? And I'm thinking I did something wrong. And he's like, no, I just don't feel good. And I'm like, well, let me bring you by some soup. Let me get you some Gatorade. Like, I remember the first or second time you got sick, I brought you soup. I brought you Gatorade. I brought you like a whole bag of, I went to Walgreens and Walmart, and I brought you everything that you would need. And then I was like, well, do you want me to set it up for you? And you were like, no, I'm good, thanks. He took all the bags, went into the apartment, and I was like, thank you, love you, bye, I'll call you later. And I stood at the bottom, I walked down the steps, and I was like, I was supposed to go in, right?
Not when I'm sick. I don't want you to get sick.
Like, I'm supposed to go in and like help him like get better, right? And yeah, that was that was hard for me, and it still is today.
Yeah.
It is like what, and that's the thing that I love languages. Like I'm the one, like if you're sick, I'm gonna come to your rescue. Whereas William does, but William, because how he retreats, I call it retreating.
Yeah. He
retreats. So if I'm sick, he retreats.
Exactly.
And I'm like, no. When I'm sick, I need you to be present. Because I wanna hug you, I wanna cuddle with you, you know, I wanna know that you're near. Like that's me. Right. And he's like, okay. So he still doesn't get it. Like he still thinks that.
I feel like I get it. I feel like I get it to a certain extent though.
That would be gone. I was like, well, yeah. I'm at the. I remember the first time I got sick. You had brought me some. Not first time. I think it was just like the first time I got sick when we got married. And you got me like some chicken soup or something. Yeah. Some Pepto-Bismol. Yeah. So you got me a canned soup. Then you put it out. And then
I was like, deuces.
He was gone. And I called him. I had woke up after I woke up and I was like, where you at? Oh. And he's like, you didn't answer the phone. You sent me a voicemail several times. And I'm like, why did you send me a voicemail? This dude is at the movie theaters with a big old thing of popcorn. He walks in with a big old thing of soda. I'm so loud. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring it down, my volume down. And I'm like, really, William? Like, you just can't just like leave me? Yeah. What if I would have just threw up on myself and that has happened?
So I did have to learn. That's what I said. That's why relationships so hard. It's these things you don't even think about when you get into a relationship. You're like, hey, you're fine, I'm fine. We go together, cool. And then you're like all the little things. Language is love. Now we got self-care language, you know. And it's not just if you're physically sick, just you have an emotional bad day. I remember it took you a minute to realize like even if I wasn't like physically sick, I just needed like 10 minutes in my car. It took you a minute. It took you a minute to understand why I needed that.
But the thing is like because William retreated, and I just realized it right now, but I think I have really realized it already. Because he's a retreating type of person, I felt like one, he didn't need me. Two, I wasn't the person he felt he could what am I saying? He could confide in. Yeah. And then three, it made me feel helpless because I was like, he's hurting or he's depressed and I can't help him. So I would just leave. I would leave upset because I couldn't, I felt helpless. Yeah. And so it was just like, and so I get back, I'm like, you good? All right, bye.
There were moments where I was sick and we sit down arguments.
I didn't know how to be there or not be there, if you will, because he didn't want me to be there. So I was like.
And I blame that completely on me. I put Sierra in a category that I shouldn't have. I should have put her. I spoke to y'all in the beginning how caring Sierra is, but I didn't accept her caring for me. Mm-hmm. And I put her in a category, and this is all my sense of my past. Yeah. That I grew up with a lot of fakeness. Let's be real, where it was like, oh man, I've been praying for you. You ain't praying for me. Or, hey, how you doing? You really don't care how I'm doing. Like, I knew deep down. So I put Sierra in that category. So I was to the point where I don't want anyone to know that I was sick, just because then when I feel better, I get all that fake compassion. That even today, it's hard for me to take a day off from work because I know the next day, oh, where were you? Oh, are you okay? I'm like, I'm good. Let's act like nothing happened. Come on, let's move on. And I have to stop myself. It's hard for me to take it when I know it's not genuine, and no fault to them. You got your own kids, you got your own family to take care of. So I don't expect you to be genuinely concerned for me But I just don't want to hear that fakeness, and then I put Sierra in that category. And I'll tell you right now on this podcast, I'm so sorry I put you in that category, and you didn't deserve to be in there. You're my woman, somebody I love.
Right, and what I was gonna say is because you did that retreating thing, it made me feel like you didn't have emotion.
Yeah.
Remember, and we've struggled with that our entire knowing of each other. Is that I felt like William, he's very loving, but when it came to emotions, right. I felt like he was emotionless because he didn't. That retreating mentality made me feel like, well, you deal with your emotions and no one else is supposed to know about them. Right. So how am I supposed to? Why am I here? Almost, you know. Yeah. And it was like, and we still till this day still struggle with that because he had put this wall up that was so thick and so heavy that it made me feel like he didn't have emotions. And like, I'm like, oh, that didn't bother you. You good. And now it's so funny because now we're in the season of doing this podcast, doing YouTube, where we're having to face a lot of our own insecurities, own realizations. Like this whole conversation coming out of this is not supposed to happen.
I just said, all I said is talk about it. It doesn't even say nothing.
And like this conversation just made me realize, why did I always say, well, you all right, you good? It's because of his retreating mentality. And it led to me thinking that he had no emotions. And that's why I tell him, and I also tell other people, and I tell myself this too, because I am a strong, independent woman. But because we are strong people, and this goes for every person that's listening to this that is considered the strong one. Yeah. If you never tell people how you feel, or you don't tell people what's going on within you, the people that you trust, especially the people that are in your inner circle, you never tell them. You seem as if you have, like you solve every problem yourself. Mm-hmm. You're so independent that you really don't need them. They're just adding bonus to your life, right? And it makes them feel like you are a superwoman or a superman, and we're not. We're not. I got the Captain America shirt on, but hello, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the kind of thing that you have to understand, because we are strong people, and I think it comes from historically. It can go all the way back, especially for chocolate diaspora people, if you will. Black people. That we had to be strong. We had to suck it up. We had to not show our weakness because we would either be killed or slain or hung. And so therefore, coming from that history background, men and women, especially of the chocolate diaspora, have learned how to put this false sense of being. Because if you show your weakness, you're going to be slaughtered. And that could be slaughtering, could be you lose your job, could be partners looking over you for the next upgrade or next paycheck or next position, or your friends belittling you and saying, remember when and that's why I'm real sensitive to not do that to people, because especially my friends, because I know that doesn't come from a place of encouragement. It comes from a place of comparison. And I'm not trying to compare your struggle with my struggle, or how I got through it and you still struggling with it. You know what I mean? Like it's a cycle of things. And so for people who are considered a strong person, or a person who is like me and Will, who have been taught how to be strong, but it has come across in so many different ways in our relationships that's not healthy, we are here to talk today about self-care. Right. And so how do you care for yourself? How do you recognize how to care for yourself? Right. Because like it's still taking me time, because I'm such a go-getter. I'm such on the move. Yes, you are. That I don't know when I need to really like say no to that, or let's not do that today, or it's okay for us to skip this today because we need to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And so I'm asking the Holy Spirit to help me with that, because as He allows us to explore different options, different business opportunities, I need to know where my attention needs to go. And if I keep relying on my wants and my desires all the time, it makes it hard for me to decipher where I should go and when should I go and what should I cut off and when should I cut it off. You know, because I'm wasting time if I'm not where I need to be for God to be used, for me to be used by God.
Yes, and it's very important that we take care of ourselves. So, like you said, you can take care of what God needs you to do. 3 John 1 and 2 says, "Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you, and that you may be in good health, as it goes well with your soul." It's all connected. When we're praising God just by living, or we're praising God, literally, we have to be in good health. Some people think that, as long as I'm have breath in my lungs, I'm good. No, health is all around. Your mental, your emotional, your physical. It means it all. I told Sierra, I was joking before we get started. I'm like, I remember sometimes going to church sick, and they're like, "Raise your hands in the air to give God praise." I barely can move. Okay. I feel bad because I'm giving God half. I'm giving God half. So we have to be intentionally watching over ourselves, because to be somewhat cruel, who's going to watch over yourself better than yourself?
Right.
You know how you feel.
Right.
If I didn't tell Sierra, hey, this is hurting me, she's not going to know.
Right.
She doesn't feel the pain. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So you have to make sure you take care of yourself. And that's what we kind of want to end this podcast, but also this month of mental health awareness. We didn't mention it, mental health awareness, on a really good note of taking care of yourself. I know that has been a talk for years in mental health field. I mean, I've been in about 3 professional developments in the last 2 years, and they always end with self-care, because they realize people are working themselves and not taking care of themselves.
And that goes because in American society,
yes,
we are work, go, and we're not taught how to care for ourselves, either health-wise, nutrition-wise, exercise. We're not taught. We're told after the fact, or our parents have very good education, or very health conscious, very psychological conscious, and they teach us those things. Yeah. But if you're not in, or have the space, or your parents don't have the time, you're not taught how to care for yourself mentally, physically, you're not. And so then you have to discover, so what is it that I really need? And so as an adult, I feel like I am in this season where I'm trying to discover, especially with this plant-based diet and plant-based journey that we're on, we're discovering a lot about ourselves that we didn't realize when we weren't really watching our health or being conscious of what we put in our mouth. Yeah. And now that we are, it's like, well, I really don't need that. Or I actually don't need that carb today. Yeah. I actually don't need that rice for dinner.
Don't need that.
You know what I mean?
I'm good.
At this point, I really don't care for beef right now. I just don't need it. I don't need the beef. I don't need the pork. I don't need the chicken. I don't need the fish. I'm good right now. And it's like, I never thought I would be on this side of the world to say that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it is what it is. And so you never know how if you take the time for yourself to discover what it is you need or what you're lacking will help you in the long run. Right. You gotta take time. And I think with self-care, you need to take the time. Yes, no matter what it is, health, mental health, physical, take the time to discover what it is you like. Do you like to take long walks?
Yes.
Or do you just like to do Zumba? Yes. I mean, pick it.
Pick one. Or 2 or 3 or 4.
I like both.
That's a lot of,
Find out what you, I think also time is important for yourself, but also what is it that you like? Yes. It's interesting. I asked my mom this. She goes, if you listen, I'm holla girl.
Hey, mama.
Holla girl. I said, Mama, you built an age now, and you still fine as wine. So you still have a lot of life in you.
Right.
What is it that you want to do with the rest of your life? My mom paused and she said, wow, that's an interesting question.
I bet. We don't ask people over a certain age what they want to do with the rest of their life. We just assume they got it all.
They don't want to work or just retire. She's like, that's a very good question, Sierra. Because she's like, I was just thinking about maybe it is that time for me to start thinking about retirement and, see where my monies and funds is at so I can go and do something with myself. And I'm like, yeah, Mama, I think it's about that time.
About that time.
To figure out, what is it that you want to do with the rest of your life? Because My mama has a beautiful spirit, a beautiful mind.
Yes, she does.
And you've done what you're supposed to do to take care of us, and to make sure that we both graduated with 2 degrees, 2 kids with 2 degrees. Hallelujah. And you've done a great work within us. Now it's time for you to take care of yourself. Yes. And so she's really trying to figure out, like, what is it that she needs? Like, what is it that she needs, wants, likes, and actually figuring it out, but then actually doing it. It's another step. You have to
actually do it intentionally.
And that's
what's the thing with self-care. Yeah. Like, I know, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, you go the whole day and you worked from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. and you're like, oh man, like you just crashed because you didn't take any moment for yourself.
Yeah. And I think for us, that's working out now.
Yeah, working out.
The first thing in the morning.
We try to work out first thing in the morning, our devotionals and things like that. Yeah. So we're going to just list out a few things that we do ourselves that maybe you know or don't know and need a reminder. And there's many other self-care tips out there, but this is just a few that we feel like are close to our heart. One of the things is I love doing is give a gift. And I'm not talking about going out and going to Tiffany's or Zell's. I'm talking about something as simply as writing a letter. I remember for Christmas, I wrote all my coworkers, the ones that really I work real close with, a special card, like full paragraph. I'm not just hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. No, I wrote like something for each one. I had one walk up to me. He's like, "Are you leaving?" Like, no. It was good. It was good for my soul just to let out something verbally. I haven't written in a long time that way. And, and then I even did for Sierra. I wrote a Christmas card for her too. So it was really good to let it out in a certain way. Sometimes giving gift and seeing someone else smile, if you're that type of person, that could really help you out. Or be a little selfish, which is what we're talking about. Give it to yourself.
Hello.
Go out there. And, hey, I've been ironing that new jacket. It is getting a little cold.
Hello.
Right?
One of Will's co-workers did something really nice for him. She had slipped him a note, real quick and just like burnt off. And he sent me a text message with the letter, and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And she was just like checking in on him, like check in, and it was just so sweet that she just it made his day because he was having a really hard week. Yeah, and she said she saw me closing my door more than usual because I just had a lot going on. I had to close my door to get some privacy so I could talk to clients and stuff like that. So she wanted to check on me. So it's like I said, she gave me a gift, and I'm assuming that helped with her. So because I responded back to it. Yeah. Another one, take your walk. Do something
very simple.
Do something physical.
Taking a walk or exercising.
Zumba, yoga. Like I do them all now. I do them all now. Like if I need to get a pep up, I do trap cardio, Zumba. If I need to come down and zen, I do some little Tai Chi with the yoga. Like, what is it that your body needs so that you can feel refueled, revived, so that you can keep going every day? And I think we need to all tap into that. And it makes a big difference. And of course, y'all see our success.
We feel it. It may not look completely like we did something, but we feel it. We do feel different. People even say we do come off a little more energized. Another thing, for me personally, is cleaning. I know some people might not think that's a self-care, but when sometimes you have a day of so much chaos, when you can just organize something that won't talk back to you. It's an inanimate object. Like, I put you there, everything's dusted, the books are lined. They don't talk back to me. They just stay right there until I pick a book out. So some people, that I said, some people find that therapeutic. I know I do. Cleaning.
I think for me that would be my car, and I know it's weird for a woman, but for me that's my car. If I can go clean my car, and was like, are you still? Yeah,
she'll be out there till 9-10 o'clock. I'm like, girl, get in this house before someone thinks you breaking in the car.
It is what it is.
You can go for a drive. I do that sometimes. Sierra be like, "Where are you going?" I'm just gonna go for a drive, baby. I promise I'll be like 30 minutes. Nothing crazy.
Or
be right back.
You just sit in your car.
And
put your music on. Yeah. And whatever it is.
Sometimes that's the only space without having to spend money.
Especially when you have kids. If you have kids, you need that car jam moment, smoke session, whatever you gotta do.
You said smoke session.
Hey, some people gotta take a little puff up.
A little vape.
A little vape, and zen out for a little bit.
Get away.
Take a little CBD gummy bear and zen out for a moment.
Get away.
And you don't overindulge, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, if you gotta do what you gotta do.
I know that gas is expensive though, so some people are like, "Yeah, I'm not driving. I'll sit in the car, but I'm not about to drive."
Well, some people do like if you live in California, if you live in a really nice, or even San Antonio, and you can go drive on a hill and park your car and just like be with nature. That's another thing. It's really, really like good to just get out and even going to I want a beach so bad.
Yes. You could get a fidget toy or something small. I'm one of those people. Like Sierra has to stop me sometimes. I get something in my hand and just start playing with it. That's like,
you haven't done it in a long time.
I know, but I'm at work. I'm bad like that. Like I'll be clicking. They'd be like, Will. I was like, oh my bad. Like it's just something happened. It just helps with my anxiety. Helps get me my mind back in focus. Yeah. One thing we can put on there: take a day off. If you can take a day off, take a day off. Even if you still have to work. I know 2 weeks ago I took a day off. I still worked, because it's close in my job. If I take a day off, I come back with 95 emails. That actually brings more stress. So, but it was good that I didn't have to get super dressed up or had to put on a show. Answer email. When you answer email and you're in your pajamas, they don't know you're in your pajamas. So, so yeah.
And then a morning routine would be beneficial. Keeping a journal, or you can even do a night routine, either morning or night
or
routine.
even night,
and you can journal or do a devotional or read a book.
Right.
It sounds old school, but maybe some of the old school stuff can help us stay sane. Amen.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So it is beneficial, and if you are a Christian and you like to read your word in the morning, we do some Bible plans on the Bible app.
Yes, we do.
And that helps start off our days and helps us, get organized with your worries of the day.
Right,
if you're feeling anxious about something, those plans, or just reading the Bible, it's so simple nowadays. It's so simple nowadays to learn what the Bible says about certain issues. You can even type in the search anxiety.
Yes.
And it will give you verses about anxiety.
Devotionals.
It'll give you devotionals about anxiety.
Leaders and stuff,
so it's out there. You just have to use what you have. And we are so busy doing all other things that we forget that all this stuff is accessible to us now. Whereas back then, you had to go to a library, look up an encyclopedia.
Blow dust off the book. What did those Greeks say? Go back to the Old Testament.
It's so easily accessible now that you can tap into it.
Yeah.
And that's for the mamas, the daddies, the aunties, grandmas, cousins, everybody, teachers, doctors. There is a way to care for yourself. You just have to take the time. If it's 5 minutes a day, and take care of yourself.
One thing I love about Carla, our head CEO of Ready and her, her words of affirmation. Sometimes I take those, and that'd be my, for as long as before she gives me another one. It'd be like a whole week. I'll be saying that, like, I am somebody. I am somebody. she got a new one. All right, we're gonna do that.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. Yes.
Carla,
and definitely, we can't forget about prayer. We're Christians, so we cannot forget about talking to God. Definitely. You sit down and talk to God, like, hey, and have a real conversation. We'll say this till we are old and gone. Just have a talk. It doesn't have to be, art thou greatness, I come before. No, hey God, look, today is a bad day. How you doing? Can you help me out? Yeah, I know. I've had some conversations like, God, I don't even want to tell you what's going on. You seen this. Can you just get me through another day, Lord God? And that sometimes just eases your worries.
That's true. That's very, very
just true. Talking. And one thing I used to love this when we got together, me and Sierra. We don't do it as often. Just journal dreams. We sit down and I remember when we first got together. They got a little more realistic now. We get older and we see the bills and the bank account and stuff like that. But we still, you still want to sit down. Just if you don't have nobody, create a dream journal.
I think our anniversary, God has had us set up our anniversary at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Because we do it every year, actually, in a different way.
Different way now.
But we do a dream journal, if you will, or dream.
More verbal and
we write this year. We had to write it down.
We wrote it down.
We had so much that we wanted to do, that we think we want to do, that we want to explore. So journaling it, making pictures of what you call a collage.
Yeah, poster board or something like that.
What they call it a
dream board.
A dream board. You can do a dream board. Just make it make it a visual representation of what it is that you hope for. And
keep it going.
And keep it going, Sometimes you can take stuff off that board, and you're like, I don't think I want to do that no more. You know what I mean? So once you discover, like, that takes too much work. I don't want to do that.
I got how many years of school I got to put? Okay, never mind.
No, never mind.
But this is a cuss word for some adults. Take a nap. No, that's so Saturdays when I take a nap. Lord. I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for sleep. Thank you, God, for a moment of sleep. Out.
Can't nobody wake
What time is it? Oh man, we haven't recorded today. Like, we are so behind on schedule. Sorry, Carla. Just like be like, what's my podcast?
We'll take a nap.
I took a nap. Your boy been working straight 4 to 6. Like, I'm done. I took a nap on Saturday. All right, because you need to. It resets your body. It resets your mind. Sometimes your soul. And sometimes that's when you could unlock those dreams. Sometimes it unlocks that creativity that you need to, get to the next, this task or assignment. Yeah.
And then to go along, of course, with this is the last week of May Mental Awareness Month.
Mental health awareness.
See, I got it wrong again. I try to make my own acronym.
Mental health awareness month. Yes.
Anywho, therapy,
yes.
Or counseling,
yes,
is so important for your self-care. And yes, that does take a little bit more time than sitting in your car and doing what you got to do, or listening to some music and bopping. It takes a little bit more time. But it also takes more availability for your internal self. Because you really, to get the best out of therapy or counseling, you have to open up yourself and try to be available to the experience so that you can learn something about yourself. And so that, I would say, is very important. Some people might say that therapy or going to a therapist is not for them, but talking to their friend who's very spiritual or very supportive gives them that therapy session, if you will. And if that's what you choose to do that. But know that you're taking care of yourself and that you're trying to do what's best for you to help you grow. Because I think we're such a hustle and bustle society that we're all about the business or the community, but we forget about the individuals that make that community or that business. And that is so important to make sure that you are being taken care of. Like Will said, if you don't take care of yourself, who else gonna take care of you? The Lord is gonna take care of you, but you gotta tap into who you are. If you don't know who you are, you're gonna really have a struggle. The struggle is real.
And I thank God, as I say every time, I thank God for Sierra, because I say not only I have a immediate therapy on that, but say pockets. I don't have to go. But God ever leads us to go beyond us, then definitely we will.
Yeah, we will. I have no honey.
Yes.
I remember that 50 years marriage. I was like, do we need to go get a marriage counselor?
We could use some therapy during
because honey, you about to
5 years stretch. That was a hard one. But God got us through.
God got us through, amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm going to revisit year 5. No.
Maybe another podcast. Story time.
Well, we thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
And thank you for the people on A Pleasant Love who are probably watching this. And we thank people who are on A Pleasant Connection, who are still riding with us.
Yes, thank you.
Still listening to us, giving us insight, commenting. Please comment. Please like. Please share with your family and your friends. And we love you, and I hope you have a great, great day and great, great week. We'll see y'all next time. Bye. Bye.
Hey, yes, yes.